How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm really, really happy to have an interview with you.
Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah.
You know, when I hear your music, I'm very, interested to know how the environment of where you grew up affect the way you made your music and you wrote your lyrics.
It's hard to say. It's hard for me to say. The place that I grew up is very, it's the Canadian prairies, so it's very flat. There's not that many people. Um, I think that the way that that has affected me is like maybe just, I didn't have the option really where I grew up to have a lot of musicians come in and play on my stuff. Um, so it became a very alone process of writing on my own and playing my own stuff, playing all the instruments and stuff. Um, a lot of my earlier songs, I was writing with characters that were a little more prairie based, kind of small town people. I don't know if that's really carried on. I've kind of had at least a decade of touring around everywhere, and a lot of my experiences these days are not happening in the prairies. So I don't know if you've heard a shift in my music since the early days. That's probably the prairie sound going away.
Yeah, because it's because your music has this kind of landscape. It's really atmospheric. I really enjoy it, and I really like the way like a painter used to add some details for a landscape or for everyone, that you have these are very specific eye for these details that are on the background,
Mm.
not only on the front voice, on the guitar or everything. So how do you feel to you as a musician? How do you know get to know all this part of these huge landscapes that it's these songs?
For me, I feel like it's just a process of refining. It's a lot of passes, when I start a song, I probably have the lyrics and the really rough structure of it, sort of as like it's like a first coat. It's like I put that down and I see the potential. And then it's just a matter of putting things on and taking things off. Kind of the same concept of what a painter would do, where it's finding the places that need details. And that's the same thing that I'm doing. It's put it on, take it off. If you looked at my sessions for songs, it's big chunks of audio and then just like muted. A lot of it is muted, uh, just to highlight what needs to be highlighted and not overload it.
Today is Valentine's Day, so how's your opinion about love songs? Love songs has been everywhere since day one
Mm-hmm.
music came up, and I think that love songs can really change the perspective of everyone in love. In a positive way or in a negative way. That's the way. Maybe the creator has to decide this which side we have to take. No, but I think
Mm-hmm.
love songs are really powerful, especially because, they talk about, the clash of two different minds melting together and to see what's the result of that. What's your opinion about love songs, and which one is your favorite?
Ooh, that's a tough question. Um, I like love songs. Love songs are something that I tried to avoid for a long time, just because it seems like the easy thing to reach for. It's the easy subject to reach for sure. But I think there is really a shortage of really good love songs. If I thought about my songs, there's a lot of them that are about the subject of love or about romance, and usually it's like, I don't know, not going so well, but like a really pure love song where it's, poetry trying to describe that those highs and that feeling of when it's good. That's a really hard thing to do because I don't know, maybe my tendency is to complain, but I feel like all my love songs end up super complainy. But as far as a favorite one, I'm not really sure. I don't know, probably like an old standard or something, like a Frank Sinatra classic love song. I tried to make a song like that, and it's called Slipped Away. You Slipped Away. I guess it's not a love song because the person slipped away, but that pure thing where it's like just metaphors, just a bunch of metaphors for what it is to feel that way.
You know, it's interesting because love can be, it's complicated, you know. When you say when someone is walking away or slipping away from something, maybe it's love for yourself, for itself, you know. And it can be interpreted in many forms, the love, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in this last record in Norm, that it's been a year since it has been released. How do you feel? How do you feel these songs has evolved since you made it and nowadays that you are still playing it live?
Well, it's tricky. When we toured the record initially as a full band, and then we were trying to keep it kind of as close to the record as possible, but that doesn't really, you know, when we had 6 people playing the music, and the subtle changes kind of are introduced just by you know, you take a chance on something and then it becomes a habit. Playing certain things differently and stretching certain things. But then I had kind of back problems in the middle of the year and I had to cancel some stuff. And the shows that I've been doing since my back's gotten a little better have been solo. So it's just me and a guitar, which has been really fun for me because these songs were not written that way at all. They were written kind of as little fragments that are pieced together to make the full song. So learning them for a guitar and a voice has been interesting, but these songs have actually worked out a lot better than a lot of the songs that I've written just on a guitar. For some reason, I don't know, there's like more interesting things to latch onto, more melodies that can happen on the guitar while I'm playing the chords and stuff. Yeah, the Norm songs are probably my favorite to play solo now, just because of how they're challenging for me.
Maybe when you said this, the songs that are played that can be played with an orchestra or even played with only one guitar, they're the good ones, you know, because they have this medular structure that guides you, you know, and it's really in your face thing that everybody will recognize if they have many or less instruments, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good feeling when that works. It's funny because I spent a lot of time trying to write songs that did that and just having no luck. I don't know what it is. As soon as I stopped focusing on that, that was kind of when I was able to make songs that worked that way, which is not, you know, to me, that's not fair.
And you know, you're going to be here in Mexico City, so how do you feel? Are you excited?
I'm excited. I've only been to Mexico City once before. We played the Corona Capital Festival, and then we kind of just walked around for a few days, and I'm looking forward to playing indoors at not a gigantic festival, and yeah, playing to a more intimate crowd. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't really know what to expect.
Thank you so much for this interview, and keep an eye on that back, because it can be a painful experience. You know, you have to cancel a lot of nation dates, so you have to the health is first. You know.
Yeah, I gotta do some exercise.
Zombie walk, bitch, I let that chopper talk. Geekers do that zombie walk, bitch, I let that chopper talk. Geekers do that zombie walk, bitch, I let that chopper talk. Geekers do that zombie walk, bitch, I let that chopper talk. Geekers do that.